Florida Seascapes. Objective: students will show depth in their art by using object placement and overlapping. What do these pictures have in common? If you were to say blue sky and teal water and nice white or beige sand, you're right. But what about that line where the sky meets the ground? Do you know what that's called? Horizon. How many of you guessed it? The horizon is where the sky meets the ground, or in this case, where the sky meets the water. Overlapping. We cannot see all of the horizon because the palm trees and the umbrella are overlapping it. Foreground, middle ground, and background. The objects in the foreground are positioned lower on the page, and the objects in the background are placed higher on the page. When the objects are closer to the viewer, they appear larger, and smaller objects seem far away. Here are some Florida seascapes by students just like you. Please look at this example. See how large those palm trees are? That's because they're in the foreground. Look at the two sailboats. The large one is closer to us, and the smaller one is farther away. They might really be the same size, but the one that's farther back looks smaller because it's farther away. And look at that little palm tree way back on the hill. That could be a really tall palm tree, but because it's so far away, all you see is a small palm tree. Please note in this example that there is land in the foreground and there's land in the background on the horizon. Two things I'd like you to notice in this picture is that you only see part of the sun because it's rising up over the horizon. And also, please note the swirly lines in the water. These accomplish something very important, and that is called movement. One might say that this artist got a little carried away with all the details, but I want to encourage you to use your imagination. You add those details to make your art uniquely your own. Here is how you will get started. First, you will put your paper down horizontally. Then you can find a ruler, place it in the middle, and then go a little bit up higher so that your hand fits in this space, about like that. Then you're going to draw a line with your pencil. That's going to be your horizon line. I know you can barely see it. You'll be able to see it better in just a moment. Next, I'm going to make some land down in the foreground. If you were at the beach, you would be standing on this land looking out onto the water. I'm going to make a palm tree. I'm going to make it really tall, and it's going to overlap the horizon. Watch. Curved line, another curved line right alongside. It's parallel right alongside. I might add some details since it's like perhaps some coconuts. Now the leaves on a palm tree hang down. They're very heavy. So watch. Straight line going down, curved line going down, curved line there, maybe a curved line here, and a curved line here. Now I'd like you to think of zigzags that are pointed towards the end of the line, like this. It's kind of diagonal. Now on the other side, to a point. I'm going to do this on all of them. You can always practice a little before you actually draw on your paper. Now I'll add some more details. Now I'm going to go over the pencil line where the horizon is. The reason I didn't do that to begin with is I didn't want the line to go through my palm leaf right here. Now I'm going to add a few other details, maybe some land back here. I can make an island, or maybe some beach that goes off the page. I can make my sun up in the air, or I can make it setting. This could be sunrise or sunset, actually. Now I'm going to add some more details, such as boats. Perhaps I'll make two. And they're going to be the same size, but one will be up close in the foreground. The other will be a little farther back in the background. So the one up close to us will be larger, and the one farther away will be smaller. Watch. Horizontal straight line. Below it, water line, diagonal down and in, diagonal down and in. I'm going to make this part of the sailboat. This is called the mast. This is the part that holds the sail up. The sail is kind of floppy and it's made of fabric, but when it's full of wind, it's very big and full. So watch this. Two curved lines, curved line here. I'm going to make another boat back here, a little farther back. Diagonal in, the mast, full sail. There you go. I can add some details such as these windows. I can add some lines to show that the water, perhaps the wind is blowing on the water, making it ripply. Other details, you could add some sea creatures, maybe a crab down here on the sand, or maybe a person maybe they're sunbathing. These are just a few little details that you might want to add to your picture. I showed you this just to get you started. Now that you know the first steps in creating your Florida seascape, why don't you get started and add details to make it your own? Don't forget to add beautiful color. I can't wait to see what you come up with. The end.